Fear stops us from achieving our true greatness. Are you a professional woman who is feeling stuck, unmotivated, or burned out? Are you worried about your wellness? Are you letting fear stop you from crushing your goals? If you answered yes to any or all of these, then this is the podcast for you. Dr. Charmaine Gregory, night shift emergency physician, burnout thriver, and wellness champion, along with everyday heroes just like you, will explore how to face fear in our lives and emerge victoriously.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified when the next video comes out. It only takes 2 seconds to make 2 clicks. So let's do it. Let's get back to the video. All right. So welcome to the Fearless Freedom Podcast. Today we have a special guest on the show because we are going to be talking about the podcasting launch course, and Dr. Roelands is a fantastic podcaster who has been killing it over a year now, right? Almost over a year?
Right at a year. So December 9th will be my 1-year anniversary.
Yay! It's so exciting. I love it. Love it. And then, so tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do and what the podcast is about and all that good stuff.
So I'm Dr. Jennifer Roelands. I'm an OBGYN, so board certified OBGYN, and trained in integrative medicine. So I started a podcast really a little bit to do with Charmaine's story too about fear. I had such a fear of public speaking. I actually cannot remember one time in college I ever stood up and did a presentation without passing out. You could always find me sitting on the chair, waking up going, oh God, he's going to make me do this thing again. I got to get back up here and get this presentation done. So part of it was just getting outside of myself and getting, outside of my comfort zone and stop being so scared of what people think and what people are wondering about me. And so I started Ignite Your PowHer, POWHER, for women to kind of lift up their voices, and really women in the health and wellness industry. I both interview badass female entrepreneurs in the health and wellness industry, and then I also do solo casts about different episodes related to women's health, both.
Awesome. That is such a needed set of items for sure. I even talk to colleagues these days, and you even just listen to almost the silence because people are just I don't know what to do, so that is amazing. So that you're really reaching the professionals. You're also reaching women in general, and a lot of times we don't get focused on. So thank you for all of that amazing work. Really appreciate it. And so now you have to tell us a little bit more about, so you initially got involved because you wanted to face your fear. And you also then got involved because you wanted to tell the story that's not being told, right? So now, what was it? What was the absolute, what was the thing that really pushed you to actually sign up? Because it's one thing to recognize that you have a fear of something. It's another thing to actually take the action. What was it that allowed for you to take the actual action of signing up?
I think it was mostly because people were kind of looking at me what are you going to do? Are you crazy starting a podcast? So I was like, you know what? That is motivation. I am going to do this. I'm not going to let other people say that I can't do this. I went to college with being the only female in my entire family who went to college. I was the very first person to graduate from high school, including my mother, and college. And I was like, I've been told my whole life, this is not for you. You should stop doing this. You need to just kind of be the quiet female type and have babies and, that kind of thing. So I sort of heard that little voice inside of me from when I was younger. That's you can't do this. Oh, the hell I can.
I love it. No, that's great. That is great. Yeah. Yes, go for it. No, that's fantastic. And then, what was it like? So now I think that probably was the most difficult decision, right? Because now because like you said, you had the, I don't want to say demons, but you had the negative soundtrack kind of playing that took you back to those moments when people told you, oh, I can't do it. But then you also had that inner drive that told you, that has pushed you along all of this way, right? surpassing everybody with the high school graduation and the college, and then going even further and doing, med school and residency and having a career, like all these things. And so now you're like, okay, you did it, you pulled the trigger, you're in the course, you're learning about podcasting. What was that like for you?
So one thing I really enjoyed about the course is I loved that there were people doing things very different than me. There was an author and writer, a psychologist, another woman who was really interested in sort of telling stories of people who don't get their stories told. So it was kind of like, wow, there's all these people that have different whys, and I can learn from where they are and what process they're going through to understand how I need to set mine up. Like I think my fear was always like, oh gosh, people are going to listen and they're going to hate it. And then they sort of taught me, like, who cares? Then you just talk to yourself for the next 50 episodes. It's
right.
fine.
Or your friends be like, hey, can you please listen?
Yeah. I mean, like at the end, I think I was so worried about people not liking it or not liking me or just not thinking what I'm saying is important. And it's like, well, I could just use this actually for therapy and just talk about stuff. And if it's only one download per week because it's me, that's okay too.
Yeah. No, totally. I think, it's funny that you say that, because a lot of people who start podcasts, that's literally what they're like. Well, I really like comic books and I'm going to just talk about comic books. Nobody listens. And I get to talk about what I like and nobody has to tell me, stop talking. But then it turns out, obviously, that there's always going to be somebody out there who are actually usually groups of people, not just one person, that are waiting to hear your voice. And so that is the thing that we don't always hold on to and we don't realize, right? Because just like how you have a story and you have a passion, then somebody else out there has the problem that your story and your passion solves. And so you getting it out there, right? Because podcasting is, we tend to not realize how profound and how widespread it reaches, because, we're kind of used to like, okay, well, kind of know like social media is pretty big. But if you really think about it, podcasting is probably bigger than social media, right? Because when you are out and about, you really can't be driving and be on your Facebook, right? That's dangerous. You can, though, be driving and listening to your favorite podcast. And it's a very intimate way in which you can connect with another human being and be able to share your passion, help them in some way, right? And, if you're, you and I are kind of like twinning in that way, because I use my podcast for therapy. So it's like you do too. So it's like a win-win. The person on one end is getting what they need. They're getting that, you're getting fed. And then we as podcasters are also being fed as well, because we're able to like talk about what's going on with us. So no, it's pretty cool. Sure. And have you noticed any benefits since you've launched your podcast? Has that been beneficial to you or to your business, or how's that been for you?
A ton. I mean, from a personal standpoint, I'm much more comfortable sort of saying what I know. I think medical school, we get to this, we're always thinking about what we're going to say. We're always like, it comes in our brain and then we just have to sort of formulate this into this very generic medical statement. Like, I believe that you're trying to tell me that you are having shortness of breath. Like we have this sort of very generic statement. And so it's taught me just to say actually what I know and not feel like I have to revise it or re-say it or make it specific to the person I'm talking to. I just need to actually say what I know. I mean, 15 or 14 years of being an OB/GYN, I have a lot of information. So
yes.
I just need to say it. And so I think that has been a really good thing from a personal standpoint of understanding, like, I actually am an expert in this. I need to talk about it. It's okay not to fear like I need to stop from saying things. And then certainly you learn a lot of tech when you're starting a podcast. You learn a lot more than you want to ever know about Camtasia and keywords and everything that, you quickly realize I also have a teenage son who's 14, how much it's different between a 14 and a 44-year-old who edits it. It's done in like 5 seconds. He's like, here. I'm like, where's the pause button?
Right, exactly.
Section, it's amazing what you realize that you're capable of doing. It's just something you've never had to do before. So there's a lot of just learning from a personal development standpoint, but also just, learning that you're capable of something you didn't know you were.
Indeed. And I can relate with you about the teenage son and them like grasping the technology. Matter of fact, this is the part that's really scary to me, is the fact that the 9-year-old, grasps things faster than I do.
I know.
She's like, oh, mom, give me your phone. I'll just fix that for you. And she's done. Really?
I know. I know. It happens to me all the time. I sometimes just leave the room. I'm like, just do it. I don't want to see it because I don't want to know. Just help me figure out why this thing is popping up. Just fix it.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so tell me now, so you've had great success in a lot of areas as a consequence of the podcast being out there. Do you have any plans for your podcast for the upcoming year? Are you thinking about doing anything different with it, or where do you think it's going for the upcoming year?
So the first bit, when I first started, I mostly was interviewing experts. And so over the time, I've learned to sort of put episodes out myself so that I could kind of talk about specific topics. So I'll probably do more solo casts as I go through, just to bring out certain women's health topics. I was a little bit fearful of, being the person on the spotlight. And, the first one I did by myself, it was like forever. I just stood there for, it was like tons of edits. I probably had like 1,700 clips that were together because it was so much of me panicking. And so I think I'll do more of those. And I haven't done anything from a promotion standpoint. I haven't tried to find a sponsor or any of those things because I was focusing on the business, that's my integrative medicine practice. So I will try to do something in that relation to then promote it from that standpoint. I basically just linked it to my website and post on social media. So to get it out there, but haven't done anything promotion just specific for the podcast.
Well, you can be the sponsor of your show. Like you can literally do that. Like
that's what I do.
That's a great way to do it, because then, it's kind of seems like, and now, Dr. Roelands integrative practice. This episode is sponsored by.
I do actually. And I do like my freebies for my website. I'll say this episode is sponsored by Ditch the Diet Guide, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I want freebies to put out there or a specific. Yeah, I've done that I have started doing some of that, but as far as like actually doing something to,
sure.
Something that's, there's a lot of, I understand like different podcast promoting sites that you can go to and, do that. And I haven't done anything from that perspective. It's been really, for me, the most beneficial thing about the podcast is being able to connect with other entrepreneurs and to, first of all, connect with you first, and then connect with other female entrepreneurs who are going through the same things that you're going through. And just know that there are other women that are having the same imposter syndrome and struggles. And you can just relate. That's the thing, is when you're starting something by yourself, you feel a little bit isolated as a podcaster. And then now you sort of kind of connect with other people and go, oh yeah, you lost one episode. I lost one episode. Whatever.
That pain is real.
Yeah, it happened to me. I filmed a wonderful episode, and StreamYard only allows it for 2 weeks, and I didn't know that.
That's right.
So it was gone, and now of course they keep it forever. So I'm like, great. Right after that happened, so you learn these things. This is all about.
Yes.
And she was another podcaster, so she was like, I get it, girl. It's happened to me.
So was it easy to get that rescheduled though? Because I know that's always a little tricky.
We're still working on that part. She's got 4 kids and I have 4 kids. So that's
not easy. Yes. Coordinating that is always a bear. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. Hey, it's Dr. G, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for listening to this episode. I'm so honored to have you here with me. Did you know that I can help you to get your own podcast started? With my podcasting launch course for professionals, I walk you through everything you need to know about starting a podcast. I'm with you every step of the way, from sign up to launching your show, with 5 episodes ready to go. There's a done for you version that's also available if you would just rather just do recordings and leave the behind the scenes work up to us, then that one is definitely for you. But either way, we've got your back here at Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Oh, if you already have a show and you need production services, we have monthly plans available for you. So check out the links in the episode show notes for more information. Let's get back to the show. And then, so what would you say to somebody who is maybe on the fence? So, because, you talked very candidly about the fact that, you have a fear of public speaking and you were like, okay, I should do this podcasting thing, but I'm not quite sure. And then you had that inner conversation that prompted you to go ahead and do it. What would you say to somebody who is kind of on the fence and they're like, I don't know if I should take a course or if I should just try to figure it out myself or what I should do? What would you say to somebody like that?
I think it comes down to why you want to do it. If you really want to do this, because I think a lot of not a lot, but some don't continue past like say 10 episodes, because I think people thought it sounded like a good idea, but really don't want to do it. And I think if you really want to do it, then what's the worst that could happen? Like really, what's the worst that could happen? You literally, like I said, you literally have one download and it's you for all episodes that you do. And like, yes. Okay, no one's going to put you in a billboard that says you're the worst podcaster ever. Like, who cares? Like, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. So if you really want to do this and you really think this is something that you can do and want to do, then go for it. Like, this is one of those ones that has very minimal consequences if it goes wrong.
Right.
Okay. No one listens. Okay.
It's not like jumping out of an airplane when you're skydiving and your chute doesn't go up. That guy, not good.
Yeah. No one knows your statistics but you. So it's okay.
Exactly.
It's totally fine.
I love that. I love that you put it that way, because I think that that's not how most people are looking at it, right? They're like, they think they have to like come out the gate and have 1 million downloads. Hello, there are very few people who have 1 million downloads. And honestly, as long as you're talking to your people, it doesn't matter if you only have 50, right? Because if you're talking to your tribe and they're like getting the goods from you and they're interacting with you, it really doesn't matter what the numbers are. What matters is the impact, right? So no, that is just so funny, because you're like, oh yeah, well, I don't know if I'll do this because it might not work. Okay.
I think it's the same thing like social media, where, it doesn't matter if there's 10,000 people. It matters that the one person, it mattered to them. So, I'd rather have less downloads because someone didn't just do it for fun, like just go, oh, fine, I'll download all of them, and just actually somebody who really wanted to listen to what we had to offer. I think it's more important to the impact, like you said.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's super awesome. Wow. So Jen, you got to tell us about a little bit more about your new venture. We want to hear about that guy.
So I am getting the rest of my integrative medicine training done. So I'm a fellow. And so I am opening a virtual integrative medicine practice. So I'm going to offer both traditional and holistic options. And these are science-backed holistic options. So integrative medicine basically is taking traditional and alternative, putting it together. And so that's what I'm going to do for women. And really where I see it important is women who say are on the birth control pill and want to be off, and they just are tired of like riding it out. They were told by their doctor, you know what, ride it out. It'll get better. Just 3 to 6 months. You'll be fine. Chill out. And it's because in conventional medicine, we don't have any other option. As an OB/GYN, I have nothing else. I was maybe 4 weeks of nutrition class, maybe.
Oh yeah, true.
And I have
that was a lot
else.
actually.
Yeah. And I was like, nothing else I can offer. So I have, from that perspective, I'm hoping that I can help women, give them both nutrition and lifestyle options that will help balance their hormones without having to be reliant on medication.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, especially PCOS women. That's where most of the women I've been coaching have been, who have PCOS.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a huge need for that in Guam. Just putting that out there.
I know COVID is not helping anybody.
You might have to come and advertise your practice out here. It's virtual, right? So they could get to you, right? So it's not like the distance doesn't matter.
No, I'm doing so because it's medicine. I'm off, so I can see patients. I'm licensed in the state of California, Missouri. but I can do coaching, which I'm doing a coaching membership where I do once a month workshops on all kinds of topics related to hormone health. And then also they can get into the open office hours. So I'm going to have 2 hours of open office hours for coaching. So anybody wants to just come and ask questions. I can't specifically like look at your medical record because that's medicine, but I can do that. So someone who's in Guam who wanted to be part of that membership could do that, where they were available to see, they can go to the workshop every month and also every week come to the office hours. They're open.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know what it is, but PCOS is huge here. Huge. Lots and lots of women, unfortunately, are suffering from that. And obviously, you know, they're all young. And then of course they're all on metformin, right? And so, and then the rest of the population is on metformin because they have diabetes. So you have this going on. So yeah, no, that'd be a good opportunity for people to take advantage of what you have to offer. So no, that's great.
Yeah. And that's kind of the idea that that membership is really about the education component, because unfortunately, like in my opinion, a lot of the online folks are all about, take away everything, like don't eat gluten, don't eat dairy, don't eat anything, just basically diet and exercise. And that's really not what the data suggests. The science doesn't suggest that we should eat nothing and exercise harder. That's not helpful for PCOS. There's a lot of good data with nutrition and lifestyle science. So I think it's really important to give people actual science, like let's go back to the information that supports what we should tell women. So that's why I didn't want to let go of that coaching piece of education, because I feel like there's women who need that still, that may not be in the states that I'm practicing. So yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Thank you for doing that. As a woman who is like, approaching that moment in my life when I go through the pause.
Yeah, I know.
The pause is coming. It's around the corner.
Well, I'm going through the, looking at my phone going, what is going on with my eyeballs? I just started that. I'm like, oh,
so is that how it starts? Oh dear Lord. So I must really be in it then, because I am definitely looking like I can't see that. Like the other day I was looking at an EKG and I was like, why can't I see the lines? What the heck? So I was like thinking I should probably go get my eyes checked. But then that might also be that might be part of the full Monty of of things ahead. There you go. It's all good. It's all good. Every phase is good. Every phase is good. Every phase has it's just wisdom. Purpose. Right. There you go.
That's what I tell my children. I'm like, I'm not getting older. It's just wisdom.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Even though my 9-year-old still says, hey mom, I know you're aging. I'm like, okay. Nice. Thank you, little girl. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So you said that do you have everything like set up to share with the audience, your site, so that they can find out about the coaching and everything?
Yeah. So my website is still, sorry about that. My website is still the same. So it's Wellwoman MD. So WELLWOMANMD.com. So the same website I've had for my coaching business the last 8 months, I'm just revising it to have the medical aspect onto it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure they can find you.
Yeah. There's still downloads on there that people can get, like how to change, 5 steps to get healthier hormones. And then I also have one about building a PCOS plate. So how to eat with PCOS. So there's some things on there that are still going to stay there. Yeah.
Oh, good. That's awesome. All right. And then so that I also know where to direct people. So it's kind of like, we're kind of selfish there a little bit. Awesome. You know what? I am like, so like excited about the fact that I have gotten you on the show here, because I've been really, really watching your progress after the course and just in business in general, not even just the podcast, but like just how you have really dug in and just went for it. And I know that there had to be a lot of moments when you were afraid of taking steps and making bold moves, and you have done it anyway, which I think is amazing. And so I just wanted to let you know that. I don't know if you've been told that recently, and if you have, I don't care. I'm telling you again, you are the bomb, Dr. Roelands, and keep doing all that great stuff that you're doing, because you're definitely an inspiration to a lot of people. So keep
Thank
it
you.
going. Yeah.
I have a wonderful husband who reminds me that it's going to be okay.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And you know what? Your partner in crime is always going to be there to watch your back and hold you up. So that means he's a keeper. So, that's awesome.
Yep, I'm keeping him.
Awesome. All right. So we're at that point in the show where we're going to do the fill in the blanks. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right.
Sure.
So the first one is, if I am fearless, I will
Conquer the world.
love it. Love it. The next one is, to me, fearless freedom means
It's being yourself, like finding out who you are and being yourself.
nice. Nice. And then last but not least, your battle cry. What is that for you, Dr. Roelands?
Mine is don't give up. If you want it and it's meant to be, you just need to do it. Don't let other people tell you otherwise. Just do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
Thank
Totally
you.
appreciate it. And Fearless Freedom Tribe, you can find Dr. Roelands at wellwomanmd.com. So check her out, because she's got lots of good stuff coming your way. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fearless Freedom with Dr. G. Again, I'm Dr. G. And if you like this episode, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified of when the next episode is going to be. And also, I'll catch you next time. Have a great one. Be strong, be brave, and unleash your greatness.